on this. So what we're going to do today, sorry if you were hoping for the short film or something, but what we're going to do today is go back to our template, because I did that whole session before, and the other day I did a whole session and didn't even acknowledge folder tracks. So I thought, why not let's do a quick session on folder tracks and let's use them. Let's use them in our template and get this thing organized. I should probably find out, if you guys want to quickly do a bit of Google search or whatever, what the shortcuts are, because it'd be cool on the eucon that maybe we could have a spill out. You know, I've got buttons to do our dialogue and all that sort of stuff, but it could be great to have a spill out button. So we basically spill each section out, DX or MX or whatever. So we're going to get to that right now. So, it seems we've lost our mixer cam. Give me a tick. Love that. Oh, no, that's why, because it wasn't active. Beautiful. Now we're back on. Let's go. Hey, there we go. I even set up a button for that. So what we're going to do is basically group our tracks as we should. So we've already got buses here, but we're going to replace these buses with folder tracks, which is basically a bus that hides tracks within it. So what we're going to do is we can select all these dudes, including the reverbs. We're going to chuck those in, and we are going to... I've not worked this out. So actually, I think... So if you want a folder track that is also a bus, so I could put these straight into a folder. I'll show you here. So if we go... move to, we could go new folder. Let's just call this DX bus. All right, so that now they're all in that folder, right? The only problem with that folder, you can't add. It is basically just a folder to hide tracks, so you can't put any plugins on that. It doesn't play through it. It's just basically a way to hide all your tracks. So can you undo that? Yes, you can. Good work, Pro Tools. It seems that they've kept that track, but that's fine. That's all right. So what we're going to do now is we're going to select all our tracks here. We want to... Actually, let's put a new 5.1. Have a little spasm there. Let's go routing folder. I'm going to assume that's what it is. This is how new it is to me. I have not even touched it yet. And we're going to call this 5.1 DX bus, which I think we already have a name. So if so, yeah, it's called it plus with a 1 in there, but we'll fix that in a minute. Yeah, sweet. So we are now going to chuck all these into that. Now, I don't think... Yeah, so that's not routed to anything. So what we're going to quickly do is we are going to bring our DX bus right up here so that we can add... So we've got a few different plugins and things on here. Now, so there's bypass plugins. They were the ones that I put as alternative. So if you don't have, say, Neutron, you'll be able to bypass Neutron and use that's just a limiter, a standard Avid limiter on there. So now what we'll do is we will delete this dude. We're going to change the input to DX bus. And now all those will be routed through to our DX bus. The only other thing... No, that's all good. Cool. So that's our first folder track, which we can change the color or leave it. Maybe we can, for now, we'll just leave it and we'll check what they all are later, and we might make them all my normal coloring for the masters. So that's it. That's DX, the first slot in there. So what we might quickly do, Just wondering, so we've got, I just don't want to make new buses and then we're going to obviously have to redo each naming and all that sort of stuff, but whatever, let's just do it. So remember, we also now have changed it so ambients are a separate bus than our effects, just because we thought it'd be more flexible for our directors and stuff to use that. So we are going to grab all our effects. Actually, we've got to make, so we might as well actually, while we're at it, let's just name this as nothing because we don't want to ruin our inputs. And we're even going to quickly rename these. We're going to just call them old. Oh, and the last one as well. Old. In fact, that one doesn't matter because so this is going to be our M&E, which is just a downstem of these other buses. So we're not going to turn that into a folder, into a group or anything like that. So we don't need to worry about that one. The other thing we also need to do is solo safe it. So we're going to hold down Command, which I need to put my key. There we go. Hold Command and then you press solo to make that solo safe. So we're going to quickly, it will be easier for us if we build our folder tracks. So we're going to go 5.1, we're going to go routing folder and we want 3 more of those. And we're going to call it 5.1 bus because we'll add each individual. That's going to, yeah, okay, it's going to add numbers anyway. All right, so we're going to go 5.1 FX bus, 5.1 AMB bus, just double check we haven't got extra spaces, 5.1 MX bus. And we're going to change, we're going to have to delete these extra buses. So if you press, what do I press there? Shift, see I do these things without thinking about it, but if you go Shift Option Command, what that'll do is once you select, so if we select FX bus, it will spill out in order. So it's gone, so that's due to all is Option, Shift is due to all selected, but then if you press Command, what it does, rather than if you select, if I just held Shift and Option and clicked FX bus, all 3 of those would be FX bus. So if we hold Command as well, it staggers them out. So it picks the next one along. So it means if you want to, you can, 8 different tracks or whatever, you could select it so it goes to the next bus or whatever. So that's sorted. Then we're just going to quickly chuck these dudes across. I don't mind the blue. I feel like we could just leave it because I haven't used that blue before. I kind of like the blue that's all around it, plus the fact that it's grey in the middle. It's kind of cool. It's a bit different. So we're going to chuck all that in. So our M&E is still going to get built from these. So we're just going to chuck these across. Does mean, though, we're going to have to make this the same blue, which is... Oh, is it like its own special blue? Oh, no. Boom. Nope, missed it. There it is. Okay, so that's all good. And we just want to solo safe those. So we're going to select them all. Actually, there we go. So we've just pressed Command and we click those. Now we'll make one for our VCAs as well. We can make one for our masters as well. Any questions, lads? The other thing we also want to do, which we'll chuck them in, they'll be last, so we might even do them last, is the LFE will also be sent through to those. I wonder if we want them in the groups themselves or whether we have them separate. Well, the thing is we never actually really touch those masters anyway, so they could go in their own little folder here. We could even do that. So like just chuck them into a group. because we don't actually change it. Like we could come in and change the settings, but we don't actually need to keep them. In fact, I might ask you guys. So we don't touch these. It's about just sending to the LFE, and it's obviously we got low air, and we got a roll off to kind of. So anything we send sweetener wise, it'll just get more delicious and low rumbly, and then roll off, which we can obviously bypass that if we want. I've also got a little bit of compression at the top, but that we don't ever touch these now. We just obviously send to it through our sends along here. So we could hide them in their own, rather than hide them. So we go new folder, we'll call these LFEs, and then they're in their own LFE group. So we can hide that, and they can actually just stay. Like we could put them there because, to be honest, like they would go. Well, they can go either side. It doesn't matter. That's just like LFEs. So I might just keep it LFEs. So we don't need to touch those. It's about like limiting how many tracks we see. We can obviously pull that out if we want, but they can stay hidden. And with these, we might even make like 5.1 master. So if we want to, all these would go into one track themselves, including the master itself, which we could route to as well, actually. That could be kind of cool. So we put all these into another group again with a master. Weaver, it's so hard to imagine myself using folder tracks. Having not used them for session organizing for so long, I use them a lot in Logic, but I just don't know what the big benefits are yet in Pro Tools. Yeah, I guess it's for people who have massive sessions, right? People who have huge sessions and they want to just keep things organized. Like the fact that you could then, I assume that when we collapse stuff, it collapses in eucon, but I haven't tested any of that stuff. Like, I'm not sure if we've got options in here because there's spill and stuff. I may not have the latest eucon that'll work with groups. But it would be silly if you couldn't. So if we go across to our DX is collapsed, but it's not on here. So I'll double check because honestly, if it's not collapsed, if it doesn't collapse on eucon, what's the point? Because you want the whole thing, you want that to just follow. If I collapse it on Pro Tools, you want it collapsed here. And at the end of the day, it's silly because now it's just, I guess it's a bus. I was going to say it's taken a fader, but it's just, it is what it is. Be right back. Give me a tick. Sorry about that. Family business. Okay, so as you said, memory locations, they are an awesome way to hide and show tracks. Like with this setup, we can just do layouts and it will do it, using eucon, which is also a good way to do it. But yeah, I find that ridiculous that it's not being hidden. I might double check later on. I might see if I get the latest eucon, because I'll save this as I'll do it now. In fact, with folder tracks. So just call it with folder tracks, just so we've got our separate one. Because some guys might not want them, hey? Yeah, Avid, of course, doing all the great stuff. I'm sure that there would be. And the other thing is it may even be that it could be that I've got artist mix, but it could be that I just haven't got the latest eucon. So we'll look at that later. Just going to move my camera around a little bit. Woo! Okay, so where were we? What are we up to? We're going to chuck our effects into here, including reverbs, but we're going to ignore our ambience. That's FX bus, so that's right. Then we're going to put our ambience. There are our ambience reverbs. Not that we'll probably ever use them, but they're there. We're going to chuck those into this dude. Got our MX. At the moment, we don't have a lot. Like if once I get stems from people, they'll go in there as well. Cool. The thing that's also weird, so obviously so this is our LFEs, right? And I might even like ones that are just, I'm never going to use or open, I can make it black like I kind of do with buses. But the thing, so I've got VCAs here, right? But if I chuck them all in a track, it kind of just seems useless because then we got this dude that's just sitting in the way. But as long as that doesn't show up as a track, I guess, on this, we're all good. But let's just chuck these into a folder. So there's no audio being routed to this, so we could just call them VCAs. And so now they're all in its own stem, but what I won't keep the same color for that because we don't want to get confused. So VCAs I've got, they're like purple, so I can spill those out. I kind of like that it's obviously like it could be the same purple, which I don't know which one I've used. Where are we? So many colors of the rainbow. Yeah, it's weird. It's not the same. I clearly have the same color selected, but it's not the same color, but it doesn't matter. So I kind of like this gray here, but we've got our VCAs there. I feel like I should change this back to the bus color that I used to use. So we're just going to go like a dark red. To me, that was just record, I guess. Maybe I won't make it quite as dark. There's obviously the masters there, even brighter again. The other thing is, I guess, what could even be better is I've got, so DX is red because to me, red's important. FX is green, so maybe I should go a green color. MX, DX, FX. What are our ambiences are like blue colors. We could go all sort of muted colors. And our MX is, what is our MX? We go pinky purple, so we go purple color. Maybe a little bit brighter on that one. Yeah, why not? They are more purple. There we go. M&E. So M&E, like, we're not going to ever touch that. That's purely just to bounce out. So what else we got? So LFEs, we just haven't hidden them. There's LFEs. So the other thing is, do we want to chuck all these masters into, say, we could turn this into a master bus. So our master 5.1. Hey, Benko, what's up? We're just going through folder tracks. So I'm going back through my template because I realized I didn't use folder tracks and they are a new feature. So I'm just testing out what it would be like if we chucked everything into folder tracks. Because really, we could actually have everything down to like 2 channels, you know, but I don't know if there's any reason to do that. It doesn't make much sense to me. So these are our down mix channels. our M&E as well. Like we could just chuck all these into a routing, or we could just chuck all these into one. So we don't need to have anything routed to that. We could just chuck it into its own 2.0 masters. These ones I normally have hidden anyway, so tone, and unless, we got to obviously add tone, but they are normally hidden. Once we've got our project going, they're normally hidden. So we could go, let's change that to red as well, eh? Boom. So yeah, we could, I feel like we don't need to go too much smaller, but this to me just feels pretty unorganized. I wonder if we put our LFEs, let's just chuck our LFEs into each channel. I reckon let's do that. It'll be the last channel after the reverbs. Again, we don't touch it once we got it sorted. And it's kind of a send anyway, so that'll work. So let's do that. Then we hide it. I am a bit annoyed that this just doesn't automatically organize itself, but I will double check, as I said, that we've got the latest eucon. So the LFEs, we'll get rid of that now. We don't need you. The M&E, so wonder whether we put M&E into something. So we got VCAs, which, again, do we need to hide the VCAs? If I've got this many channels kind of at square one, wouldn't we just keep the VCAs? It might be better to keep the VCAs out of their own, because we don't have to be that organized. Actually, no, the one good thing, I guess, so if we have them in their own VCA, let's just, we can't undo that. Cool. Once you delete a track in Pro Tools, it's gone. New folder track. Let's call this VCAs again. Put them in there. Let's go with a dark purple color. So now the good thing with that is we can actually now hide it. It's about kind of hiding it here as well. So we've now hidden that in our timeline. We could also just put all these tracks into non-routed ones and then have our buses in a master folder, because like it's about what's best organized. Like I don't know if I like having the master bus on the front of each thing anyway. The problem is if I add those channels, we're going to start adding extra bits and pieces. I kind of like that we can do that. The thing is, so when we're in this channel, in this window, it's great to, without hiding it here, we could hide all our lanes, because when you're working on stuff, you don't need to see your master bus lanes because there's no automation being written anyway, right? I need some interaction here, guys. Talk to me. What do you think? What's the best system? What do you think will get the best results? I am now thinking more that it might be best to keep the buses in a master. So like we've got our 2.1 here. Should we make a 5.1 master one that all our channels go to? The other thing is, I think we might make this our master stem. So this master bus, rather than it just being a patching, it's just a what do they call it? Stupid folder. What do they call it? Basic folder. Basic, stupid, same thing. So if we get rid of that, we could start let's go stereo. We want to go routing folder, and we're going to call that LORO master. Or we should just call it 2.0. Everyone knows what stereo is, right? 2.0 master. We're going to change everything over to master. So we've got a 2.0 master, which is going to go to our LORO. Why did you make a... Oh, did I accidentally... Whoops. So we want to go stereo, because I've clearly... Routing, stereo... We're going to go 2.0 master. we've obviously already made one of those. So now there's the second one. We're going to just quickly clean this up. So let's go in. We've already got our master there. We're going to delete that path. We are going to, change that to our master. We're going to move this up to here where our other masters are. Going to delete these because we've got rid of them now. What I'm going to do though is, in fact, let's delete that. We're going to just change all these. So let's go. We're going to just call it 2.0 from now on, because I think trying to explain LO, to clients and stuff, they'll get it. I think they'll get 2.0. Maybe they won't. Do I need to put stereo in there? Probably. This will be neater. Neater for me anyway. Okay, so we're now going to 2.0s. Right. Audition, that is for me, that's just a send for you guys. Cool. So we're going to click OK. That's already re-changed all these, which is cool. So now we're going to turn this into our stereo master. And actually, no, we need to do... How does that work? We could select no output, but then I can't listen to it. Actually, we'll need to call it stereo master bus. So, because all of these, like we've got 5.1 stereo. I wonder if I'm clearly working this out right in front of your faces. So I'm just trying to work out whether we need it as a master channel, because once we go bounce, right, you can bounce at anything anyway. So if we make it a bus, let's go, and we're going to add this as our stereo master bus. It is a bit annoying not just using master channels, aren't they? What do these dudes look like? So they're okay. There's no automation lanes. Maybe I'm just making things too difficult for myself. No thoughts, anyone? No thoughts? Everyone's quiet. Give me your thoughts, guys. Come on. So we'll get rid of us again. We're going to just go master, 2.0 master. We're going to delete this dude. I think we're just confusing ourselves. Going to put him back there. Because then what we can do is grab all these and we're going to say move to 2.0 masters. I guess the only thing is that, like, it's kind of a useless track, right? You can't see the channels moving. It's just a good way to hide like this. You know, we don't need that. So it's a good way to hide that. But even then, like, why is there a track here? You're listening but also driving. It's all a bit iffy, really, isn't it? That's what I mean. Like, I'm just trying to work out, without playing around, I'm just trying to work out what would the best system be. Because if I could make it a bus, route everything through it. Like, rather than using master channels, I just use a bus to be my master channel anyway. I then just have to, like, have a routed in So I could call it 2.0 master bus, and then the output would be 2.0 master, which is kind of what I was looking at doing before. So if we, it is just so messy, right? You could have multi-outs and monitoring. Well, and that's kind of, so, well, all these, there's multi-outs here, so they're multi-outing to the 2.0 and then also the 2.0 master minus LUFS, which that's my second sort of, it's a second master that's like a webmaster that's a bit louder. It's got a little bit of compression on it, but there's just like, which that should be bypassed. There's then there's a separate hard limiter, which I've actually made that -3, so all the others are -2, all those are zeros because they're just your buses, they just need to be 0. The master is -2 peak level, and then that's -3, just because with compression and stuff, it's just safe so you don't have clipping. But obviously we're pushing harder into that hard limiter. I'm just wondering though whether we do make, so if we go all our masters, so if we go our actual output, so this would be master bus, which is kind of annoying, but then we'll go new path here, we go 5.1, so this will be our actual master, so we'll call this 5.1 master. I don't know, is there a better way to call it? Because when I print it, it's going to print with 5.1 master in the title, right? So technically we'll be listening to that. These are going to be buses. We won't have to change that one, but then we need to add ourselves a new (2.0) bus. Sorry, master, idiot. And that's mono as well. That's great. I'm really smashing it today, aren't I? New path, stereo, 2.0 master. And we're going to listen to that. This is the thing, I've got to change all these as well, which sucks. Okay, so now we can get these out of this dude. Get rid of him. So if we go, this is good to try and figure this out. So stereo, routing, yep, we're going to call this 2.0 master, which it's adding an extra bloody number, but that's all right. We'll be all right. So we want to go, sorry, the input should be master bus and our output should be our 2.0 master, right? We're going to make it red. We're going to go, we're going to solo safe it. And what we are going to do is then, so this will be our new master channel, so we can chuck all this stuff in there. And so all these things will route through to this one, and then when we bounce it out, we'll be bouncing out the 2.0 master. So we're going to chuck all these dudes, except for that one, because that's our old one. Going to chuck that into him. So that's our 2.0 master, all our extra bits. We'll get rid of that. I really need some files so I can test it, hey. So now, that's our master. These are all our other dudes underneath. I'm going to just darken that off because that's not like one of our big main ones. So when we bounce, we're bouncing our 2.0 yeah, when we bounce now, we bounce our 2.0 master, then all the other 2.0s, the DX, MX, FX, ambience, whatever, and then they all send to an MX, M&E, so we'll be bouncing that as well as our our web version. Anyone else feeling a little confused? I'm not confused. I'm just trying to catch up with my brain. So we'll delete those. We don't need those now. And so we'll do the same for so we can hide that. And that's got all our masters in there. And then technically, I think I want to move all these out and put them into, yeah, I think I want to put them into their own, like have a 5.1 masters, and that will have our buses in there, and then just make a standard one of these dudes so I can hide the channels. But let's finish what we're doing here. So we want to get ourselves a new 5.1, which will be a routed one. We call that 5.1 master, which we've already got. So it's going to put a 1 in there, but whatever. We're going to go previous. We're going to call this old for now. We're going to delete it anyway. 5.1 master. We want to make this the 5.1 master bus. So we're just calling anything that we're routing to from everything else as a bus, so that when we bounce, we have a clean, we're calling this 5.1 master, which is, sorry, our output there. So this is our output. So it's now our master channel. Oh, come on, Pro Tools. You can't freak out just because I clicked to route that to a bus. Ugh. Anyone else love Pro Tools? Of course, I haven't been saving as I go because I'm a professional. Ah, good times. How long do I wait until I realize it's not coming back? Let's see. I need a sound effect for you guys to play when Pro Tools stuff's up. Bow or whatever. Yeah. Okay. Let's just see. Where are we? Our template. Let's go. Whoops. Backups. I think I've set it to do. Whoop. Oh, we're right. There'll be a backup. Here we go. There's a backup. It's only a couple of minutes off. Hey, there we go. Everyone, this is the real Pro Tools we all know and love. Nah, she's right, lads. She's right. This one will be good. One day, Avid, you'll see my stream and go, oh, that poor man. Hydrate. I need to work on noisy points. What is it? Noisy. Oh, okay. Noisy points. Because what have I got? Highlight my message. Unlock random sub emotes. Send a message in sub only or whatever. They brought out some new ones. So if you click on the little doodad at the bottom, it'll tell you how many points you got from watching. But I need to set up some cool things so you can get some little treats. Okay, so we're back in business, sort of. So let's save as. All right, so we're going to call that master bus. And we're going to call this 5.1. That's what we did last time. Are you going to do it this time? Yes! Oh, look at that. Isn't Pro Tools a genius? We're going to just go previous call this blah, blah, blah. And now this one, oh, that one could be master. So we want it to have no other, like, bus, whatever, because once we bounce out, we want it to have the name of the project dot 5.1 master. Going to chuck those dudes in here. Then we won't need him anymore. We're going to chuck our master M&E in there. we can hide him, because to be honest, we're never going to touch that. It's not. And look, to be honest, what do you think? Okay, crew, I'm smashing Androsimos on the leaders board, but I guess I'm not. I'm not being counting. Yeah, look, you got to be worried though. Androsimos has been hanging out quite a bit lately, so just putting it out there, you might have to make a better effort to be around. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I need some. If you got any ideas for cool things, I don't think there's many I can put on there. But one thing I've got a mate, he's got moist lips, and that you basically click it and it makes him drink. I need to get one of those. Yeah, nice. You're killing it. Well, I need to come up with some good things that you can cash in. Hey, that's pretty good. 5.3 is awesome. Oh, B-Foot with the sub. You are a legend. Thank you very much. You and Mello have given me 2 months of gloriousness. Thank you so much, sir. Wait, let me give you one of these dudes. Here you go. That's for you. Lots of love. You're a legend. Thank you, B-Foot. So good to have you. Nice. Killing it. So we're doing some boring stuff today. You'll love this. Just trying to organize our session with these new folder tracks that Pro Tools has brought in. I guess my only thing is, do I want to... I could chuck all of these. I guess not VCAs. I could chuck everything into that. I'm so used to having this left to right workflow where I have like everything, because now I've got it all in here, so I could break it out. But it's weird because now I've got my master channel at the end, you know, including my VCAs. Like maybe I could put my VCAs here. So now I've got my master channel. But see, look at this. It's got the M&E, even though I've hidden it, it's got those in there. It's kind of just weird because it's now got master, M&E, my DX bus, and then it starts all the DX channels. I'm just so used to having the left to right setup. Thank you very much. I'm trying my best to get this organized because look at this. I'm down to VCAs, my 5.1 masters, and my 2.0 masters. I don't really like it though. I'll be honest. The question is, you know, can we get eucon to do its thing? Team, what do you think? Should I move to having my buses, my 5.1 master buses or stems in this master channel, but then I should move all my channels, say DX, out and move that into a basic folder? What do you think about that? Let's get some votes. What do we think? I'm going to give you a minute to respond. And YouTube, if you watch this back later, I'd love to hear in the comments. Because honestly, I'm going to get to the end of this and go, you know what? I'm not sure whether I like this. Because the other thing is, I guess we could chuck our reverbs and stuff into their own routing track. Could be kind of cool because then we could have like basically using it as a VCA or a bus, like chuck them all in the one channel and then we can ride that accordingly. I'm just not sure because I do love this left to right where like all your masters are down one end, but then you obviously stagger everything across. So I'm just not sure how to best approach this. Because to be honest, I don't know how much I'll use it, especially the fact that eucon isn't automatically following it. Let's do a bit of quick Googling. Look at all the tabs I got open. Hope you're like me. You control, follow, folder tracks. I'll just double check because it might be that I just don't have the latest one. I might have to do some research in this. Honestly, this is kind of a useless stream because it's probably even more of a useless video for YouTube because the whole point was I was meant to organize it so people would use it. But when I put tracks into basic folders and close the folder, the tracks in the folder are still spilled out on the S1. Yep. Yeah, okay, so there's a new app coming, we're hoping. So I'm just reading this. Anyone else having a read? Late April. Yeah, okay. Well, this has been a great stream. I feel like it's a bit useless. If why give us folder tracks if the eucon's not going to follow it? I guess saying that, it's a bit unfair, I guess. Is there a shortcut? I guess that's kind of cool that you can make the whole lot inactive as well. Let's see. Shortcut folder tracks. Pro Tools. Open and closing folder tracks. Alternatively, there's a keyboard shortcut. Shift S will open or close selected folder tracks. So we're in now master. Shift. What do I say? Shift F. Hey, there we go. That's kind of cool. The fact that eucon doesn't follow as well is really annoying because it would be great because then I could go, all right, so we want to select our channel. So, you know, we could select, well, we can't select it here because it's not on, it's not broken down, but if we could select it here, select the next one and go Shift F, and then it will bring it back out. So you now have to do 2 key commands instead of 1. As in, you mean like, because I've got to like do it here as well as doing, because as you say, you can use memory locations. So you're saying you could have 2 set up. Yeah, that's true. I've got to select the thing. Well, I'm sure they'll have like a good spill out of eucon. There'll be a thing where if you select the master bus or whatever, it would spill out or not. But yeah, it seems a bit meh. I'm sure they will have, yeah. Story of my Avid life, hey? Well, I feel like we got nowhere. I got to wrap this up anyway, but this has been a bit of a meh session. What are our thoughts, peeps? I'm thinking about making novelty Avid issue t-shirts if you want in. 100%, mate. Let's do it. Let's come up with a bunch of them. If anyone's got any ideas, chuck them in the Discord. And we could make a whole bunch of merch. You could we'll call it the Weaver and Noisy merch or something. We'll have our own Noisy and Weaver merch page. That'd be sick. We'll make mouse pads and other things as well, of course. Underwear. We just need to find all those areas and maybe come up with puns and stuff. Okay, so we've discovered that these are kind of useless when eucon doesn't follow it. That's my thought. At least I've saved this separate to the original template. It'll be good. I say it'll be good. It will be good once they get eucon sorted and it just follows. And there's an easy way to go, boop, break it out, close it down. I do think, though, that I want to put these in separate. So if we add some new, just basic, I'd like to call them dumb folders, because that's what they are. They're never going to call them dumb folders, though, are they? We could just have DX, MX. How many of those do we want? We want 4, I think it is. So we've got 4, and we just want to call that DX, FX, AMB, MX. And we'll end up what I'll do is make them, so we'll grab all these dudes, not including the LFE. So we're going to chuck those into our DX. Yeah, we're going to make that a red. Gonna, oh, look at this, Shift F. Ooh, I'm not that excited by it, I'll be honest. Then we want to get our effects, not including our LFE. Gonna chuck those into here. Gonna make that green. So many color greens to choose from. Which one do we want? Okay, we're gonna hide that. Then we got our ambiences, which are blue. We could keep it blue if we want. Let's go with a darker blue. Maybe that dude. Now MX. Here, not including our LFE. We're going to put that in there, and we're going to go a dark. Oh, damn it. Dark purple. I know I've got those location ones in a bright color, but that's just to help me differentiate. So we're going to go purple, and then we hide that. And now we've got our master channel, which we can chuck all these. Oh, we could even keep, so we could keep our LFE in that folder, because it doesn't matter if it's a folder track. So what we'll do is we'll just chuck M&E at the very end. All right, and then we're going to make these all red, just a rich red. Can make our master a bright red. And then we've got, so in this bus, we've got our LFEs hidden, which we don't ever need them exposed. Then we've got our M&E channel there. So let's make these a richer red. And then we've got that. So that could be a better way to organize our tracks. We could put our VCAs. Problem is our VCAs are also purple, and so is our MX channel. Maybe we could fix that up a little bit. If we go a richer purple, that'll work. So now that looks more organized, right? I'm thinking you chuck it in the bin for now. I'll be at some point. It'll be at some point. Yeah, so I agree. At least I've made this now. So we've got DX channels, FX channels with their color, ambience channels with their reverbs and such, MX. Got our VCAs. Because the one thing that I think could be cool, so, you know, obviously we've got DX selected here. That's weird that the fader's down. There is no fader for it, right? But whatever. So if we've got it selected here, you know, we could set up a Shift F thing there, but we could bring it out, which is so weird. Why does it do that? Drops it down. Let's go to FX. Let's try and find. Yeah, okay. That could be a good way to indicate that it's a dummy channel. Maybe that's what it's for. So this could work. My thought, as I was saying before, is now our VCAs, we don't see all our automation lanes here unless we want to. So we can, you know, bring this out. So Shift F, fiddle about, Shift F, and we're back to where we were, you know. I guess because the other thing is you can keep it like this, but I guess, you know, what's the point? If we were going to use memory locations, what's the point in having these tracks and stuff? Because now I can't see anything. Like I won't be able to see any fader movements from those, but at least, like I've always wondered, like rather than hiding our master channels, at least I've got them all there. I don't know. I don't really know if this is working for me. I feel like I'm just, I don't know what I feel like. Actually, the fact that it like hides here as well is kind of cool. I like that. Like it keeps this part of things organized as well. Again, it will be great. Wonder, can you? Yeah, it will be great when it's all working. What do you reckon, crew? I'll save this, and I think let's just come back to it once I might put this up on the Discord. So anyone who's a part of the Discord who is in the sub crew, so anyone who's subbing, you'll get the extra channel in the Discord, and you can have access to this. But honestly, if you just send me a nice email, that was a terrible wink. I need a sound effect. If you send me a nice email, I might send it to you anyway. Sweet. Well, look at that. Organized. It's just, yeah, I just find this frustrating that I don't just have them all here and go, you know. Basically, like, you'll never need the DX channel, right? As in, you'll never need this dummy channel. It is a bit of a shame on that one. You would think that they would release them together. Like, what's the point in having one and not the other? They say that the console is meant to be an extension of the software, so release the changes together. Because honestly, I don't think anyone's been, well, some people have been asking for the folder tracks, but it's not like it's totally revolutionized our world. Like, that's kind of nice, but not when it doesn't work with the controller, right? Like, it seems a bit useless to me. So one thing I got to do is solo safe that, which I should have done before. They're all solo safe, as are they. Cool. Cool. So yeah, I guess if they have a thing where you could, rather than pressing multiple buttons, this DX channel is useless, right? The fader's useless, all that sort of stuff. So if you just press it, it would spill it out. That would be good. That'd be great. All right. Well, sorry about the short stream, guys. And excuse me. Unfortunately, it's going to be a busy week. I've got a project for the Art Centre. If you guys want to watch the Art Centre Melbourne live stream on a hey, Mike, what's up? I'm still going to use them too. I like them for the spill function, like being on a console. I wonder if you can set up folder spill commands on the eucon app. Yeah, you're right. I could. As in, all you do is put Shift F, but why not just, like, really, if I'm just going to press a thing to spill it here, I might as well select it and go Shift S there. Shift F, sorry. But I guess you could set up a button to, could you? In eucon to search for the channel. So let's just say it's DX. We could do a track search. So problem with eucon is it doesn't really do well in order. So we could go scroll select the track. Then we could say FX, enter. See, it doesn't like enters. So you can't do enter to select that channel. And then we could press Shift F. So eucon's not great for doing stuff like that in order, if you know what I mean. As in for multi macros, it's not great for that sort of stuff. So have you got an alternative? Is there a better way for us to select those channels? Yeah. Well, Mike, I really appreciate you being here. Make sure you chuck a follow if you haven't already. So hit that heart. I do appreciate you being here. Tell us about yourself quickly before we go. Tell us where you're from, what you do, what country you're in. Are you in audio post? Yeah, it'd be good to hear from you. The other lads are popping in and out as well. But yeah, so I'm just basically, because I did this whole video, I'm not sure if you saw it, where I worked on my template, but we're trying now to use folder tracks because I just totally ignored them. That's a bit funny see how it does that. What's the deal with that? See how it's doing that little bit of movement? Oh, because it's adding the little bar up there. I find that very ugly. Why add that when you've split an audio track? The fact that they all slightly move is weird. I would have thought it's just not neat. Anyway, I'll stop giving them shit. Yeah. Yes, we will. I'm in the US. I'm in audio post-production, live sound, and now some radio. Beautiful. Nice. Where in the US? You don't have to tell me your address. I'm not going to come and hunt you down. I'm just curious whereabouts. So yeah, I guess we've discovered that it's not an amazing system at the moment. Once eucon follows it, could be really great. Because yeah, I don't think there's any point making a button when I've got right here, so we need to find a quick way to select different channels, right? So can we do it? This is not selecting them though. Oh yeah, sorry. So I've got follow to select. So maybe, we could, but you can't really set up a eucon button because, if we have that open, then if we go down and go to spill it out, it's not going to work, right? So in fact, that's kind of annoying as well. I wonder if you can, the track size is not really following. We probably should, can we spill out all of them? Yeah, okay. And now we could do the whole lot small. That's very strange though. I would have thought that it would just make the track size based off what you're on. But I guess if you want to come back, if you want to make them all big track size, but then make your masters really small, it would be cool to be able to see what's what. I just hate that now if I want to like break those out into full size, now the other ones aren't. Oh, that's kind of cool, I guess, because then I can have full size and then go, oh, they're all small. I don't know. I'm just playing around at this point. I don't really know. South California, nice. LA, cool. What'd I say? Southern California? Yeah, nice. Cool. Well, all right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up just because it's the end of the day here. But I will send. I'm going to save this anyway. But if you're a sub, so if you're a subscriber to my Twitch, you'll be on the Discord in a channel just for subs, and I'll send you both these templates. And obviously, we're going to have to wait for eucon. Go away notifications. We're going to have to wait for eucon. I should turn that off. We're going to have to wait. Getting distracted here. We're going to have to wait for eucon to update to basically make this useful, because otherwise, between layouts and as Weaver said, you can use memory locations to hide and show tracks anyway. So there's already alternatives that the folder tracks things. I guess if you didn't have a console or a controller, they would be helpful. Like the fact that you can just, select the channel and break it out. As Mike says, it is still going to be useful. So, maybe I shouldn't bag on it or rag on it too much already. But as I said, I'll send these through to the subs so you can get a copy of my templates, so the one with and without. Thanks so much, Androsimos, for joining, mate. You're a legend. But yeah, anyone who is watching on YouTube after the fact, please subscribe to my YouTube. Write a comment. If you've got great answers to any of these issues that we've been talking about, I'd love to hear from you. That would be awesome. And yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And as I said, I'm pretty busy this week. So tomorrow I'm doing a job for Art Center, which I was talking about before and I got distracted. Obviously, Mike joining us was great. But I'm doing a mix for, there's a guy who is like our music director here for everything, John Foreman, and he does our like voice and all that kind of stuff, or whatever it is, bunch of things like that. But the Art Center's doing an online show with artists, Australian artists, because they can't put on any concerts in their auditoriums and concert halls. So I'm mixing that tomorrow, and that goes live on Wednesday. They stream it live on the Art Center YouTube. So I'd suggest go to Art Center YouTube. I might post about it on the Discord as well, but it's basically they're doing like phone performances. So they had a guy he's the Phantom in Phantom of the Opera in the UK, but he's an Australian dude, and he sung one of the pieces and stuff. So there's some cool performances and just like general chit chat, but they're all shot from people's homes and stuff. So it's a really tricky one to mix. And I wish I could just show you, but I'm not allowed to stream while I'm working on the Art Center stuff because it's tricky because some people don't have they don't have mics and stuff. They're literally like using the phone mic, and some are using headsets and stuff, but it's like all bad audio, and I'm trying to make it all half decent and like, just dealing with so many issues. But I'll double check. I'm not sure that the last week's is still up, but go to the Art Centre Melbourne YouTube channel and then definitely chuck it a follow or subscribe so you can see when they go live on Wednesday. So I've got about 8 hours to turn that around. It's only a half an hour show, but as I said, it's all from phone audio and stuff, so it's rough as guts. So I'll be doing that, and I'm doing some video. I do filming as well. I'm doing some video stuff this week, so the streaming's going to be pretty slim, I think, this week. But I'm going to, and I'm hoping to do this week, is release a bunch of YouTube clips that might be helpful for you guys as well. So I've already shot those. I'm just finishing some editing and titles and stuff, so I'll put those up as well. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. But anyway, that's a big rant. But yeah, it's been so good to have you guys. And yeah, I'll check you probably, there may be a couple of short streams during the week. But if not, maybe we should just have one for hangs, because it'd be great to chat with you guys. Anyway, good to see y'all. Talk soon.